This show is all about innovation and cutting-edge design ideas.
Design is everywhere. In this series, we're searching for Australia's best and brightest innovations and design solutions.
Welcome to Australia by Design Innovations.
We've gathered a group of design industry leaders at the CSIRO Sydney headquarters to judge each innovation and select our finalists before ultimately crowning one design this season's winning innovation.
Being a representative of a company that designs and manufactures products in Australia, it's an amazing moment for me to be part of this entire process.
There's some really innovative stuff, and it's an absolute pleasure to be sitting here and discussing it.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Great to meet everybody. It's my first time participating, so I've learned a lot from everyone here today.
Okay, we're off to New York City for a look at our first innovation.
This project is the Rodecaster Pro 2. It's an all-in-one custom audio production solution.
I really like what Rode's done here. They've developed a next generation product and made it accessible to consumers.
Here is a really high quality Australian product that's kind of sought after across the world.
To have a company like that is doing what they are doing in terms of design and technology, they're even manufacturing their own chips right here in Australia.
Ryan.
Mike, how are you?
Welcome to New York.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
So the last time I was talking to you would have been in Sydney 3 years ago, and I was directing a story on the Rodecaster.
That's right. Since that time, content creation has come a long way and is evolving fast. But I've got something with me that is set for the future of content creation.
Right there in the bag?
That's right, in my backpack.
Let's take that bad boy upstairs to the ByDesign studios. So the Rodecaster Pro 2.
Yeah, that's right. This is an all-in-one audio creation console for content creators.
Now, when you say content creators, you're talking like podcasters.
That's right. We used to call them podcasters, musicians, but these days people wear multiple different hats. You might be a musician by day, have a podcast on the weekends, and you also want a great audio source for your Zoom calls when you're in business.
It's the future.
That's right. I mean, if you look at young people today, 10 years ago, you could ask a young person, what do you want to be when they grow up? And they would say they want to be an astronaut, a fireman, maybe a rock star. But today, if you talk to a young person, they want to be a YouTuber, a gamer, a live streamer.
That was my 7-year-old's answer.
That is exactly right. And so what we do at Rode is we've had a look at the future of content creation, far beyond just podcasting. This here can do it all.
Can I start pushing some buttons?
Of course you can, go ahead.
So what's this one do? A laugh track.
That's right, and I can fade that out, stop the sound, cue it up ready for the next thing. It's all possible with the Rodecaster Pro 2.
Now, of course, everyone's using their phones these days. You must have thought of that.
That's right. Sometimes the best camera is the one in your pocket. And of course, you can connect the Rodecaster Pro directly up to a smartphone. I mean, in fact, we could just record a video right now and have all of the audio running. So
let's do it.
If I start a video, I can play back some music, fade it in, fade it back out, and be ready for the next sound, for instance.
Ryan, what did the DJ name his son? Mike.
Very good.
Thank
and
you.
now, if
Funny
we
guy.
hit stop on that, I can actually turn it around, and straight away, we've got a fully produced video.
Ryan, what did the DJ name his son? Mike.
And just like that, you've got a finished video. Now, there's so much more to the Rodecaster Pro 2, Mike. And in fact, I'm about to go and do a demo. Why don't you come along?
So B&H, I've heard of these guys. This is the big time.
Mike, when it comes to audio and video gear, this is the big leagues.
And this is their New York store. They're global, right? So they've got stores all around the world?
Well, that's actually what's really unique about B&H is they have this one location in New York that ships all around the world.
The one location in the world?
That's right, and they've been massive supporters of Rode since our earliest innovations. So I'm really excited to see the guys.
Okay, let's do it, eh? Yeah. Whoa. Oh, I see some of your gear there.
Yeah, you can see plenty of Rode mics right here.
And I bet you that's your man Mo.
That's right. Mo, good to see you again.
What's going on, man? How's everything?
Everything's great, man. It's good to be back in New York.
Oh, man, welcome
Mo,
back.
this is Mike.
Mike, what's up?
All right, Mo. So this is the Rodecaster Pro 2. This is the new machine. We've got a couple of pod mics here ready to go. Now, the thing that makes this really amazing is the fact that we can fully reassign faders to make it work for any kind of creator.
Ooh.
With the Rodecaster Pro 2, I can go in and I can completely change any of the different microphone parameters. And what's really cool is the fact that I can drag and drop to change the faders.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow, very nice.
Yeah. Now check it out. When it comes to the digital connectivity, I can record multi-channel over 2 separate computers.
2 computers?
Yes.
Not one?
No. So if you're a live streamer, they can connect their game computer and their stream at the same time.
That's huge.
I can simply bring in, audio straight from the unit running. So super simple to get everything up and running.
That is insane. Wow, Ryan, I don't know what to tell you. I love it. Anything else that's cool about it?
What you can do on the Rodecaster Pro 2 is you can actually set up voice effects, for instance. So I could go into a channel, pitch my voice up, pitch my voice down.
Oh, wow, can you show me?
Testing 1, 2, hey, 1, 2.
Oh man, I guess if I want to sound like Barry White, I can get on that.
Or Tinkerbell, what about that?
That's insane, I love it. I love it.
Now, something else that's going to blow your mind is the fact that I can set this up so that I can switch from camera 1, camera 2, start stream, end stream, all from this one unit.
Wow, the flexibility is crazy on this.
So
very nice.
Connectivity, flexibility for all kinds of content creators. It's far beyond just the podcaster. It's now for everybody.
Now, Mo, I've just pulled you away from Ryan, so now you can tell me what you really think.
I mean, I'm an honest guy, I'll tell you. I love it. It's very innovative.
Yeah, well, what do you think's the key exciting bits?
So off the top of my head, a few things. The assignable faders on the mixer, the dual computer connectivity, that's game changer. And then also the fact you can plug your mobile phone in, our customers are gonna love that.
Do you think it's gonna fly off the shelf?
I mean, take a look. We got tons of product around here. There's a need for every single customer to be filled. I think this product is definitely gonna be one of those.
And I guess if you're wanting to bust into the American market, this is where you gotta be, B&H.
Well, just not the American market. I mean, we're global. And not only that, we even have a virtual team that can take care of our customers. So if you can't make it in, you'll be able to experience the store virtually.
Right, so like if you're in Australia, for example.
Exactly.
What I like about this innovation is it's 100% Australian. From a whiteboard in Sydney to one of the content capitals of the world, this is Australian innovation smack bang on the world stage.
Welcome back to Australia by Design Innovations. Stay with us to find out which projects from this episode will make it through to the best of the best final later in the season. But first, a look at our next design innovation.
Yeah, when I first saw the baby bath hammock, I thought, wow, this is kind of well branded. It looks well put together. It looks professionally done.
You could see the intention, and the intention wasn't to commercialize something, that was going to blow up and make them billionaires. It was actually answering a problem that they particularly had.
These two parents thought there's got to be a better way, and they came up with a product, and they've just gone for it. All during COVID, right? So love it. Fantastic product. What did you do during lockdown? While many of us struggled with work and kids and watching way too much Netflix, one young couple, inspired by their son, came up with a really innovative way that's going to change the bath time experience.
The baby bath hammock was really born out of a need to find a device to bath Sam in that was of a nice material. This is what we were using from sort of 0 to 3 months. And pretty quickly he grew out of it. So we had to move to something like a bath seat. But these bath seats, they're like torture contraptions sometimes.
So you sit them in here and then basically...
Yeah, and lock them in place. Really difficult to sort of wash the little guy and get him all clean. So that's kind of what we wanted to create, so that parents weren't having to buy all of these different things. Instead, they could just get the baby bath hammock. This will work with a newborn that's a week old, all the way up to, well, our son was using it at 15 months. I think it was actually Matt who came in and he said, it'd be so great if there was just like a little hammock that could tether onto the bath that you could bath him in. It could be made of something like a wetsuit type material. And they could just sit there and they could move with the water and they could experience the water lapping over them. And that's when we started Googling. And when we couldn't find anything, we just made it ourselves. It wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for COVID, to be honest. We wouldn't have had the time or the energy. We were both working hard. And I think also being on maternity leave, that kind of helped as well, because I had the opportunity to chase down a lot of ideas, a lot of manufacturers, designers, all of those sorts of things that we needed to be able to bring this product to life.
Before Julia would let me put Sam in the hammock, I needed to validate my ideas with something else. Here's where the oranges come in.
Right, this is the weight test. That's a nice, healthy looking baby there.
That's it. Yeah, this is 2 3 kilo bags of supermarket oranges, so representing 6 kilos here for the suction cup.
And that's one suction cup. Let's give it a go.
This is the exact test that we ran through when we were validating our idea.
That's pretty impressive, and that is not going anywhere. And you've got 4 of these holding baby.
We went down a lot of rabbit holes, I think, but that's all part of the design process. You need to do that in order to get the best possible product.
At the moment, it's a passion, and we didn't get into it to make it a multinational company or anything like that. We got into it to solve a problem, and we thought it might solve problems for other parents.
The great thing for us, I think, is when we get feedback from other parents.
Yep.
That's a real buzz.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
This looks very relaxing. Hello little baby.
Having 2 hands on your baby at all times helps you do some other things, which is, great.
It also means you can just get her a little bit cleaner, a lot easier.
You can really see, now that it's in use, just what's clever about it, these sides that come up and give it some structure, but also this little headpiece over here. Thumbs up? Thumbs up? I reckon.
Because it's made out of this flexible neoprene, nice and soft for baby, it can also just be rolled up and put in a travel case, which means that it can go with you on holidays, it can go over to grandma's place. Yeah, I'm not taking that anywhere.
Yeah, or that, for that matter.
This I'll take with me on holidays. This is something that a lot of new parents face. It's such a difficult stage that first year, and you just make do with what's available. And that's why I think you're seeing a lot of innovation in the baby space, because parents themselves are going, this doesn't work for me. Why has no one changed this yet?
The best innovations and ideas are born out of problem spaces that individual or individuals have faced themselves. And that was exactly it for us.
So many great ideas come when you're sitting in a bathtub. Think of Archimedes and his eureka moment. The baby bath hammock is such a great little innovation that makes bath time for little ones safe, efficient, and most importantly, fun.
Savic motorcycles is the next project. I'm super excited by the EV revolution with Tesla and things like that. And the fact that now it's migrated to the motorcycle world is sensational.
0 to 100 k's an hour in 3 seconds. Like, who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
There's a lot of companies making EV motorcycles around the world, but none in Australia. And that's the big exciting part for me. We are a country that lost an automotive industry, and in a small part, we're going to regain some of that back in this proposition, in this motorcycle.
Innovation. It can be as simple as tweaking an existing idea, but then you get the big dreamers, those that want to disrupt entire industries. This next innovator falls into that category. He's taking on the world of electric motorcycle design, and he's laying it all on the line to do it.
Fundamentally, traditional petrol motorcycles and electric motorcycles are very similar, but with the electric vehicle, we have a lot more freedom in design. We're not limited by a petrol engine and have to design around that.
The world of motorcycle design is dominated by multi-million-dollar brands that have been around for years and years and years. I mean, what makes this kid from Melbourne thinks he can take that on?
Being a smaller company has its advantages. We can pivot, we can change, we can add features at the drop of a hat. It literally takes days, not weeks or months, to make a decision.
I believe a relation of yours helps you sketch these things out.
Yeah, so Dave Hendroff, he's an extended relative of mine. He's an amazing designer. He's an interior architect by trade, but he's been sketching motorcycles for 30 years.
With this particular sketch, when I showed it to Dennis, he says, "That's it. Stop all work. Yeah, We're going to focus on that one." Okay, and then we developed into that one, and then from there, Dennis built this one.
2016 was our first ground up build. That was the one I sold my car for. 2018 is the first one that that Dave was involved with. So you can see it's radically different, much more beautiful design. 19, first powertrain, and then 2020, the first one that I guess looks like a finished vehicle, but we still had a lot of work to do on the engineering.
The bike we're about to see is where all this evolution has led to. Whoa. That's one sexy looking motorbike, man. Thanks. So this is the latest prototype.
Yes.
It really does look like a highly designed piece of engineering and machinery, but this is where normally the petrol would go.
Yeah.
But there's no petrol. What's in here now?
This is just a shell for us. So we've used carbon fibre in this case, which is an option for customers. And we've got fiberglass as standard. In here, we've got our batteries and our power electronics. We have the motor inverter, which is the brains of the power delivery. And then obviously the motor, which drives power to the pulley and then to the rear. We've got about 170 something pre-orders now for vehicles. Basically, our next step is to try and scale production.
So Dennis, I mean, this innovation is just not just about the mechanics. For you, it's also about introducing AI and the cloud.
Yeah, look, software is so important in the emerging EV industry. It's what's going to differentiate us, I think, at least initially. And so having over-the-air updates and having your vehicle get better over time is unheard of in the motorcycling industry.
So Sash, you work here while these guys are putting on cranks and tightening up nuts and bolts, you're refining the AI.
That's right, yeah. So all of this data that comes off of the bike, we use that, we refine that, we feed it back to the engineering. We also use it to develop some of our new features for our customers.
Dennis, tell us about this guy. Here's your test pilot.
He is, yeah. So Adam's our assembly technician / test rider. We start with some slow speed stuff and eventually build it up to some more aggressive testing.
Tell me about the power of an electric bike compared to a normal motor petrol bike.
Sure, so it's instantaneous. It'll be comparable to, 600 to 1000 cc motorcycle.
So where do you see this bike being used primarily?
So it's mainly a commuter type bike. It has a range of anywhere between 200 to 300 kilometers, depending on where you're riding it, how you're riding, how aggressive you are with the acceleration. So let me show you where we charge this thing up. So there's a little lion head on the right hand side of the bike. That's our charging cap. You just flick it open and that's it.
And how long would it take to charge up a bike?
On the lower spec bike with a smaller battery pack, it's about 5 hours.
Now, give me a price comparison. If you were to fuel up this with petrol as opposed to electricity.
Sure, so with the range being 200 to 300 Ks, a tank of petrol would probably cost you $20, $30. We estimate, 18 kilowatts of power, it's around $5 of electricity. We're primarily driven by design and we're primarily driven by performance. The fact that it's electric and it's environmentally conscious is really a bonus. And we love that about our bike. We've used a lot of aluminium on the bike, which is fully recyclable. So we try and use whatever we can that is recyclable.
Wow, okay. This all Aussie team have one big dream, not only to help save the planet, do its bit, but to completely rev up the world of electric bikes. This season, we're proud to feature 2 affiliate awards. The Sustainability Award, sponsored by Deloitte Digital, will be presented to one project that exemplifies sustainable practices. And returning this season is the Bright Award, sponsored by Planet Innovation. One lucky innovator will be selected for entry into the exclusive PI Bright program. Winners will be announced in the final episode. Stay with us for more of Australia's best design innovations.
Welcome back to Australia by Design Innovations. and our search for the #1 innovation of the series.
Our group of design industry leaders are busy deciding which innovations from this episode will move forward to this season's Top 10 final.
We definitely didn't agree on everything, and we came from some really different points of view, and there was healthy tension in the room. But I think when you look and you pull back at 30,000 feet, you can see there was alignment on themes.
Yeah, I think we're doing some amazing work here in Australia. We're a very innovative country. We've got some great minds working on amazing projects.
Our search for the best of the best continues with our next innovation.
This next project, Halley Assist, it spoke to me because I have ageing parents. It's sort of aimed at a function of being able to monitor an elderly person or potentially a person with disabilities in their own home so they can stay in their own home a lot longer. The world is getting older. We need to be able to stay in our own homes.
This next innovation confronts one of the most emotional and challenging decisions most of us will have to confront. How to treat our loved ones in their later years. Do we place them in some sort of aged care facility or try and keep them at home?
Oh, look at this one. Do you remember this photo here?
Yeah.
Mum's 92.
Wow.
Suffers from Alzheimer's. Still living at home independently. However, she does get a lot of help. She told us that she wouldn't want to go into an aged care facility until the last minute. My brother and I always had an interest in this type of gadgetry, and we developed a device where we would collect data for the person, then raise alerts when something went wrong.
So this is a typical terrace in Melbourne, and by stealth, the Halley system is keeping an eye on us.
Very true, Peter. So this is the rear door sensor, and it's also part of a security system where if the person is in bed and an intruder does have the door open, an alert is raised.
So how many sensors would you put in a house?
Generally speaking, it's around 8, on average 10.
This is now the carer.
And it's real time, and this is the beauty of this system here.
So Andre, I'm lying on the bed, the sensor is picking up more than just my presence.
Correct. It's measuring a few things. One is it's measuring your presence, it's also measuring your sleep quality, and it's measuring your vital signs, namely your heart rate and your breathing rate.
This is actually what I would call a game changer, because I've been working for years in aged care, trying to keep people at home, keep them safe. People want to stay at home, and our role is to keep them safe, keep them independent, provide services as and when required. But what this does is actually provide that other level and peace of mind for the families.
Over 84,000 people have falls at home that end up in hospital, and a lot of them occur here in the bathroom.
So if I'm your family member, I've got an alert, I can actually call to get services to you if I live too far away.
Yeah.
Or I can send the neighbour in, and I can also be calling emergency services.
Yeah, right. So this is so important, particularly for people who live on their own.
100%.
This is an incredibly concise piece of technology, but it needs some serious AI grunt behind it, and that's where Philip Branch steps in. What did Andre come to you with?
Well, Andre came to us with this idea, the idea that you could bring these new technologies to do something useful to look after older people.
In your experience, though, Philip, if you were to boil down what is the innovation here?
The idea is that this learns what is normal for that person, so when something abnormal happens, then this system will pick it up.
Wow, this is science fiction almost being brought into reality.
Well, yes, there's a lot of things we can do these days.
Elderly people do not want their privacy invaded, and so we have no cameras, no recordings. All the data is stored on the hub itself, and only authorised users are allowed to access that data.
It's like this guardian angel watching over you, someone in the background, help if you need it, but not someone checking on you all the time. So that actually was really successful.
Yeah, look, this is some of the most rewarding work I've ever done. Being able to bring all these different technologies together, along with all these theories, to actually do something useful, something to care for vulnerable people, has just been tremendously rewarding.
What we found is that it worked for people. It didn't matter on their cognitive ability. It didn't matter what their physical function was like. It didn't matter what their behaviours were. It's working in the background. So it's brilliant.
Our mums and dads kept an eye on us when we were growing up, and this is an unobtrusive way of keeping an eye on them as they're getting older. Hey, if you're lucky enough, give your parents a hug. Which innovation do you think should win the season? Vote for your favourite in the Rode People's Choice Award. You could win a full podcasting package including the new Rodecaster Pro 2. With 25 powerful new features including a companion app, it's even easier to make incredible sounding content. For entry details and to cast your vote, scan the QR code on the screen or go to australiabydesign.com.au. Good luck. Welcome back to Australia by Design. Time for one more innovation before revealing our judges' top picks from this episode.
Sled have taken a practical problem that they've faced and come up with a solution, and now they have this nice modular product that they will be able to ship easily to other end users.
Have you ever thought, I have a brilliant solution to a real life problem, and then thought, nah, it's all too hard. Well, not this next couple. They followed through. I want you to meet Craig. He's a tinkerer. Come on. Craig, I found you.
Suzie, how's it going?
How are you going? In your workshop?
Yeah, I'm boiler maker, engineer, make all sorts.
I need to meet Julie because I hear she's your better half, or is she the brains behind the brawn?
Behind every successful man, always a successful woman.
So good that you know that.
Hi Suzie, how are you? I made
Very
you
well.
a nice cup of tea.
My God, exactly what I felt like. Now, you guys have invented the vet sled. What is the vet sled and what's it actually used for?
Well, out here on the land, you know, if you have large animals like horses or anything like that, it's a movable pen. So you can attach it to a tractor or a quad and it'd be towed along anywhere around your property to put the animal in.
And then the vet can go to the animal. Yeah. And then that's better for the animal and the vet because the vet's being protected? Is that? Yep. Yeah, I see. So Craig, I hear you're a serial inventor.
Yeah, I've invented all sorts of things.
Have any of them been, manufactured? Have you ever gone further forward?
Never as far, as big as this. So Suzie, these are the ones that I made. I don't do any drawings, it just comes straight out of my head.
And you make the prototype?
Yeah.
Yep. So this one is the double one?
Yep, and that's the single one over there.
Right, okay. This one's pretty bloody heavy.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
350 kilos.
So that's pretty amazing. So what happened after this one?
Well, I took my prototype and I put a horse in it and towed it around with a quad and took a video of it all and then went to Form Design and they had a look at it and went, let's make it happen.
Form Designs have changed the design to make it a flat pack.
Hopefully this is the one that's going to make us all the money. Yeah, this is the one we're pinning our hopes on. How's it going, Craig? How they are, Ross? How'd you get on making it a flat pack? Yeah, it's looking good. Oh, it's the one.
Do you want a hand?
No, we're right.
Really? That's good, I'm glad. I'm only a mere architect, I can't do this. For what it is, it's pretty light, actually.
It is, isn't it?
It's good.
There we go.
Ross, Craig and Julie came to you with a prototype, one of these things.
Yeah, exactly. But what it was is it was all welded together in one piece. So that makes for shipping and getting it out anywhere really difficult. So what we did is we took their design that needed a little bit of tweaking and turned it into a flat pack version.
It's a pretty amazing thing. I mean, you designed this, you had that inspiration, you built those prototypes, and now here it is, nearly ready to go to market. Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, I am, yeah. A lot of people have said you can't do things, but if you listen to them, you get nothing built.
Craig and Julie, I've come up with this great idea, but they've invested everything into this. Does that add extra pressure for you?
Look, it does a little bit, but I knew the minute I saw it that this thing had potential because of how simple it is and what it is, and that's the nature of the industry. I mean, people will risk everything to seek the reward, and look, if it's got potential, it can do really well, and the more effort you put into it, the more successful it'll be.
So Craig, it's gone from your head to the prototype.
Do you want to see it in action, Suzie?
Let's go.
Craig, fire up the tractor.
The sled idea, what a brilliant idea.
I figured that if I used wheels, especially on the soft terrain here in Australia, it would sink.
And if it's a sled, it can go over anything.
So Amy, how does this vet sled actually help you as a very experienced horse handler?
Tremendously. It saves us having to take a horse to a fixed, solid crush in a building. Say the horse doesn't like the building, it's raining, horses are scared of confined spaces. We can take this to them in their comfortable environment. There's plenty of room to move.
These animals are beautiful, but they're powerful and they can wreak a lot of damage. Have you had some really bad instances?
Yes, I've had a couple nasty falls. The people in the ER know me by name.
Yeah, when you're ranging from anything from 150 kilos up to 600 kilos plus, there's a lot of damage they can do in a split second.
Can you show me?
Absolutely.
Demonstrate.
Demonstrate.
I'll be standing back. Don't worry.
Up we go. There we go. And good girl.
Craig and Julie, I truly admire your determination and tenacity in designing the vet sled and getting it manufactured.
Oh, thank you. It's been an incredible journey and we're so very proud.
What do you think, Destiny? She likes it, she said.
And now it's time to find out which innovations from this episode go through to the final later in the series.
The Rodecaster Pro 2 has got through to the final. I'm not surprised.
I'm really happy that Rodecaster Pro 2 has made the final. Their products made me want to start my own podcast.
Savic Motorcycles has so much potential. If this scales the way we think it could do, I think Australia will be so proud. It's a small team and what they've achieved in a category that's really hard to break into is extraordinary.
Congratulations to the Rodecaster Pro 2 and Savic Motorcycles. We wish them well in the finals. Join us next time as we search for more incredible innovations on Australia by Design.
For more information on any of the innovations featured or to vote in the Road People's Choice Award, go to australiabydesign.com.au.